the best show to talk about my faction. Can get the and Max reactions. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to MyFaction Reaction. You're here with Nathan once again. Today I want to take a second to talk about something a little bit different than normally we do, because normally on Fridays, or at least not every Friday, but every other Friday, we do a card pack opening. But today I had one scheduled, and then the cards came out, and I made the decision not to open up any packs this time. And I want to talk a little bit about why I made that decision and why you may want to make that decision too. So before we get into that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel if you love MyFaction or want more MyFaction content. With that being said, let's not bury the lead and get right into this. So today in MyFaction, they launched the new Superstar Super Pack Series 2. Superstar Super Pack 2. They've done this once before, and actually I think it probably helps if we talk about the original set before we dive into the new set. So let's go look at the original set. So what this was initially intended with the original set was that this was a catch-up. So it was a conglomeration of cards from prior sets, so that maybe if you miss those, you had a double chance to get them, and the odds were better than the standard card pack. So it just was like helping fill in your collection for cards that you may have missed with better odds overall, allowing it to complete. When I got this one, it was like 2 and a bit months ago, when they launched this the first time, I was only missing 3 cards from the set. But then they added these other 2 as well there, which are hidden off the screen. So I needed to get 5 cards total, but 7 of the cards were already filled in, which was really cool. And I really didn't mind this. It gave a little breather in the week. I still opened the pack, 20 pack, and I got all the cards I was missing, helped fill in cards from the other sets. Like I was missing this from the Fierce set. I was missing this from Legends, and I believe I was missing Logan Paul from Electric. Those were the ones I was missing. But then there were also boss battles tied to these. So they had a boss battle, I believe, for Logan Paul and Lyra Valkyria that week when this came out as well. So not only were you able to fill your existing collection out and beef that up, but there were a few extra boss battles with the rewards. So that being said, the rumor last night was that Superstar Super Pack 2 was coming out. And I was kind of excited because I'm missing 7 of the 14 Money in the Bank cards, which came out. I didn't have great luck when we did our last pack opening with them. I'm missing 1 Bloodlines card, which I desperately needed, Jacob Fatu. And I'm missing... I'm also missing... Sorry, I'm forgetting a bunch of the Legends 2. Thank you. Legends 2 cards. 12 of them to be exact. I did not have a great run on those either. So I was very excited when the rumor was that we were getting it. Although it's never confirmed till you see the packs drop, everybody was pretty certain it was Superstar Super Packs that were coming back. So, and I knew I had quite a few cards that I needed to fill in. That being said, what we got this morning was very different from the first time they did this. And initially, I got very excited because I saw Jacob Fatu in here because he's the one card I need to get Roman Reigns so I can do the Rumble at the Mountain event, the one to get Stone Cold Steve Austin. So very, very excited to complete the collection. And then I realized something. Why doesn't it say I have any of these cards? Last time when we did this, I had most of them and they were already highlighted. And I was very much looking forward to it because when you... Oh, I got out of it there. When you look at the actual... rewards for them, they have token rewards, which are desperately needed. If you guys have seen my video on the problem with Javon Evans, this is a workaround for that, but it's a huge workaround because in order to complete some of these sets, you need to get 9 cards, 10 cards out of a 28 card shot, which isn't like super easy to do. So I was trying to figure out why these cards are saying that, like, that I know I have and I don't have them. And then I realized there are some changes here. So Io Sky was a diamond card, and I didn't notice this one right away, but her powers increased a little bit. I believe she's a 90 on the original one that came out of the Money in the Bank last week. But the big one that stood out to me initially was this Jacob Fatu, because he was an amethyst card when he came out. So now he's a diamond. And then I was looking at these 3 Money in the Bank ones here that are diamonds here. These were actually all amethyst cards as well. So there's been some increases in power. Same with, actually, all of these Bloodline cards where amethysts have now been elevated to diamond within this pack. I believe Cody Rhodes was a ruby before. John Cena was an amethyst, but his power's probably gone up. So we've seen some power increases. And then another thing that stood out to me was that there's some collector rewards in here. So Alexa Bliss Persona card is in here. The Kurt Angle Demastered card is also in here. That was a collector's reward for that set. So there's a bunch of changes to these cards, and they're not the cards that they were. So even if you were to open up this pack and say I got Jacob Fatu here, it would not complete my Bloodline collection, which was really too bad. So they're just kind of slightly different versions of cards that you already could potentially own, which I guess at the end of the day is kind of lazy for a card set to come out, because there's not a lot of thought or work put into that. Honestly, I would have preferred they just had gone for the lazier route and did what they did the first time, and I would probably have like 60 to 70% of these already saying that I have them if they went by that old, if they went by the original cards, and then I would have bought a 20 pack, hopefully filling out the rest of these and getting a bunch of cards that I'm missing from the sets that I was already working on. Another reason why it's not great to jump into the set, we looked at the collection rewards. Now, I will say the token rewards, if you can get them all, that's a big deal right now with the Javon Evans problem that we've got to get Lash Legend out of the live event. I don't think I'm going to need to do that to be able to get that, but some people may go this route so that they can get enough tokens so that they'll be able to go ahead and do that live event. That's already up and ready to be done. Now, there are some bonuses that if you wanted to collect the set. So number one, it's if you didn't get these new Alexa Bliss 25, which was a collection reward, you needed 5 Sinister cards to get that. That's in the set. Same with the D-Master Kurt Angle. That was also a collector's reward. That is now in the set. It was also a Ruby. So there, you can get some slightly upgraded versions of cards that you didn't already have or weren't as easily accessible that are now just in here. I actually kind of wish they put all collection rewards in here. Not that I would need it, but it would maybe help some people who weren't able to get those Persona cards. And I'm hoping that these will be in the market down the line for people who do want to get them. I'm not sure what's going to happen with these cards in the long run, and if they're going to end up in the market or not, or be tied to the Superstar Super Pack here. But the other big issue is that there's no reason to get them. There's no boss battles this week. So there isn't a card you need to complete a boss battle tomorrow. And like I said, when they did it last time, there were 2 boss battles, one men's, one women's, both with decent rewards, which is a topic for another day. But at that point, we're giving us 4 total rewards after you did it 4 times. So to me, this set's not worth investing in at the moment. It's something, especially if these cards come to the marketplace later, where you can pick and choose the ones that you want to get down the line when they're in the marketplace. And I think that's probably your better value. Now, that being said, there's 2 reasons you still may want to get this. Number one, this is 28 potential new cards to buff up your collector's level. So if you're somebody who's trying to get your collector's level up to get new cards, like I'm 7 cards away from the Pink Diamond Seth Rollins. Between this and my boss cards and Faction Wars that I still have to get, I'd be very, very close to getting that Seth Rollins unlocked. The other reason, and like I said, I already stated it, this has 2 Persona cards that were only previously available if you had so many of the other, like so many of the sets in Alexa Bliss and Kurt Angle. So if you were looking to get those specific cards, this might be worth investing in as well. That being said, I think overall for most people, I would sit this week out and not invest any MFP or virtual currency in getting these cards. I just don't think it's worth it. Now, once again, if these were the cards that were originally released back like in the sets and it said I had 70% of them complete, I would say that's a different story, because at that point I'd just be filling in the holes to try and get those tokens in the currency that we need. As well as it would have been great to see some extra boss battles, especially because as much as I'm very happy that we have a 2-week interval before the next set of cards, which I'm assuming are going to be SummerSlam because they tie into that SummerSlam weekend, will be coming out. Like, it's not going to leave us with a lot to do with the game right now. The game's going to be feeling pretty devoid of things to do. So, yeah, I guess instead of doing an opening, I want to explain why I didn't open cards. I talked about it in the live stream when I did it earlier today. And normally, like, I have a whole live stream, but I don't think this was a great use of the Superstar series. And I'm okay if they want to do this, but I would just much rather them keep it to cards that you potentially missed on your prior sets that you could get, and they give you some extra rewards if you already have a bunch of them, or all of them potentially. You just get some extra rewards out of it. But recently, and I think it's probably a topic for next week, and we'll talk about it next week, the game is very devoid of wanting to give you extra rewards at the moment. And we'll go into why that is, and why I think that is next week when we do have that conversation. But that being said, I want to know what you guys think. Did you invest in these cards in the Superstar Super Pack? How was your odds? Did you find it worth it? Did you get the tokens that you needed if you are trying to chase that Lash Legend card? Let me know in the comments below, because I want to know what you guys are thinking and what your thoughts are on this too. And if they're doing a Superstar Super Pack 3. We've already seen the renderings for it. Credit to Witty Witterson on Twitter. You guys should follow him if you're not following him. But he's already dug up the art for the 3rd pack. Do you want to see it this direction? Or do you want to see it more like the original direction from it? Let me know in the comments. With that being said, guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. And yeah, you definitely want to hit subscribe. I think we got a lot of cool stuff coming, whether it's MFP grinds, boss battles. At some point, I'm going to be taking on that Roman Reigns Rumble in the Mountain, as well as we're live streaming all the time. Next week, we've got the new DLC launching, so we're going to have some new DLC battles to do. We'll be going over the new DLC characters. So we got a bunch of exciting stuff coming up over the next week, and you don't want to miss any of that. So hit that subscribe button. That being said, thank you, everybody, for watching the video. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.